Bring you from Korea, the one and only Team Slayers representative here at this tournament. In the red trunks playing Terran to the southwest of the Daybreak is Taeja.
Silence.
Yes, we don't like Koreans here. They're scary. And they don't speak our language. But he's up against this guy. Very resilient, very well known. The kind of player that I think everyone's been a fan of at some point. He's from Team Liquid. He is in the blue trunks and he is playing Terran to the northeast. Let's hear it for Jinro. It's okay, they're still awake.
And Jinro needs to win. It's as simple as that. No losses and maybe get a game. He has to win. That's it. And he has to win as much as possible, including a 2-0 break. And Jinro just putting his headset on. Thing is, though, we've got to think is, if he wins 2-1 and Elfie wins 2-1, it doesn't matter. Elfie beat Jinro. Elfie advances through. Jinro has to win convincingly and just hope that Elfie doesn't win on the side.
Yeah, it certainly won't help. All right, well, here it goes once again. Just a quick pause to sort out the soundproofing equipment. That's now been dealt with. Taeja Supply Depot, a fairly interesting location for it, honestly, but I have to wonder. I mean, you build it there. It's nice, I suppose, to bring it up just to maybe help up against Hellion harassment or something along those lines.
It's just close to the command center. That's it. Yep. Just so you don't have mining time losses as you move to the ramp. Looking over at the groups, by the way, just to update everybody, Lucky advances as first place along with Bishu, both of them 2-1 each, but looks like Lucky first, Bishu as second, and then in this one it looks like Taeja currently first or second depending on this game, followed by Jinro or Elfie, depending on this result. And then Group H is going on right now as we speak. It does have Pult 1-0, Bling 1-0, TLO and Phoenix both dropping the first games.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but here we go. Taeja's just going to have a quick scout and just check what's going on here. Jinro going for at least a partial wall-off, and he can complete that. He could. Can he prevent that? No, I think he'll slide past, no problem. Sadly, you can't block it with an SCV, but he's going to get the scout here. You'll see that there's one gas down, and Taeja's actually opting for a gasless expand build here.
Yeah, and it's a little bit unfortunate that he did get in there, and Jinro actually has 4 in the refinery, does take that 1 out as we do see, and the Marine will go down. Jinro can easily throw down a factory soon, maybe see a Cloak Banshee opening, but we do have the full scout from Jinro, who manages to escape with the SCV as well, so that's pretty nice and does get that little 1-up in this game. Well, as I say, that,
maybe
never
not.
mind, never mind.
Well, he would have got that 1-up, but yeah, inexplicably just sort of hanging around there. Not really sure what that was for, but just a little slip-up. But he can't afford these slip-ups. They all add up into something much, much more serious. Not a good idea. Double gas now coming in to follow this up, which is fairly standard for gasless expand. We're not seeing Taeja go with his crazy 5-6 barracks and no gas build here. Just going to go straight into the gas after that. So Jinro now beginning an expansion of his own, significantly behind his opponent in that respect.
And he did basically mine from that refinery with 1 for a very long time, then into 2 when the scout came in, then back on 1. So it was always going to be a tech up, but an economic focused tech up, as he does take the command center in. Has put the factory on the side and very easily can go into that Banshee from here if he does decide to do so. And Taeja, on the other hand, as you said, double refinery straight away. So this tells us he wants to immediately throw down a factory straight away, as we see now in the production tab. He still has options from here. He could go mech, he could go bio, he could go third base. So we'll see what Taeja does have from here, and it looks like he is going to send a scouting marine to the natural of Jinro and sees the scout timing of that expansion, but that is it. But that is more than enough to know that the factory is down behind that command center and potentially Banshees could come.
Yep, the question is, are they? It's looking fairly likely at the moment. Still mining gas now for both of these refineries, and yep, Tech Lab going down there, so almost certainly going to be that.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were going to...
Nope, no, that was the end of the sentence, never mind.
All right, so basically, we are going to be seeing this Banshee play from Jinro, but because of the double refinery so early on from Taeja here, he does have the factory tech. He has a starport. He has got a tech lab coming for the factory too, and could very easily just go ahead and say, my command center was faster. I can get a Raven and Viking out and be absolutely fine against what you do, because he can already start to filter what Jinro is doing behind that just because of what he scouted on the natural. And we'll see if he does build the Raven immediately. Jinro does land a scan and sees everything and knows the possibility of a Raven, yet still decides to go to that cloak, hoping that his opponent doesn't choose or go for that Raven and does go for cloak of his own.
Well, at least he's got a little bit of time where he can cancel if he happens to learn any more information. But if he does invest and then it ends up being a situation where it's immediately shut down, there's Viking coming out from Taeja right now, so I think he knows exactly what's up, and that could end up being very unpleasant for Jinro, and it could be a nasty investment if he completes Cloak here. Taeja just getting a little bit supply blocked there, just for a few seconds, not a huge deal. And if we look at army counts at the moment, Taeja just with a slightly larger army at the moment. His infrastructure currently looking along the lines of just these 2 barracks and this starport, and there's the Raven to follow that one up.
Yeah, he's scanned right in the center and saw nothing, but at the same time, seeing nothing means that the factory is somewhere, and obviously, if it's not in the center, it's on the side, which put 2 and 2 together means that there is a Banshee coming. So without scouting it, he knows the Raven's coming. The Viking is just going to scout around for it at the south side, and then a Marine is spotting at the north side of his natural expansion. So Taeja's going to see this, and he's going to be well equipped. He has energy to scan as well, so this is no surprise for Taeja. He's well ready to accept the Banshee. Yeah,
interestingly, Jinro is already preparing for the transition out of this. He started building Blue Flame a while ago and is adding on 2 more of those factories just to go for a straight-up mech play against his opponent, who is far more likely, of course, just to go with a Marine tank kind of build. +1 also coming up for Taeja. Jinro's going to get out of there very smartly for the moment, but he needs to be careful. That Raven is there. He now knows about it, so now it's time to get out of there. But he should be able to outrun the Raven and then go to safety.
And the second Banshee is at the north side, so Jinro's going to try and swing to the south, to the main base, bring the Raven and Viking with it, then come on the natural and try to do more damage. But Marines are waiting, scans are available, and actually, as I say that, he cools down the mules, but still 1 scan is remaining, and extra Vikings are out now, so he's fully ready for this. The problem is, though, that, as you said, he's gone into mech behind this, but he's got an economic disadvantage. As you can see clearly in the supply, that Taeja is quite far ahead, and Jinro is up against it, man. From the start of the pre-game into the game, he's up against it.
Yeah, I just hopefully he's not mentally up against it, really, and that's what worries me the most, is that he is quite capable of pulling off wins against the best Koreans, but he must just get his mind in order. He must put that away and just play the best that he possibly can. Sniping away on Marines just over and over again. A couple of Hellions managed to sneak in, but take a lot of damage in the process, and nothing really ends up happening as a result.
0 SCVs have been killed by this Cloak Banshee opening from Jinro. The Banshee, the #1 Banshee that went down to the main, was picked off by the Vikings and Raven. And now Jinro is sitting on these 2 bases like, it didn't really work. And now he's got a Blue Flame Hellions out. But the problem is, he's playing against a bio player who has got a command center down at 50% already. And as we saw earlier today when we saw Puma play against Cass, is that when you've got a commanding lead and you don't drop the ball at any point when you're going for gasless expansions such as Taeja, you just have more units, you have more presence, you have the map control, the ability to expand to double engineering bay, which we're seeing as well in the production tab. And Slayer's Taeja on this map is just going to set up multiple flanking areas, but remember the key that Puma did to crawl back into that game was always the Blue Flame Hellions.
Yep.
If they get into a mineral line, that could be game-changing instantly. So all that lack of harassment from Jinro early on, instantly changed, instantly turned around.
Taeja going to a phantom third base that isn't actually there at the moment, and he's probably quite surprised by that, considering the amount of expanding Jinro tends to do, and finds nothing. He can come around the side, though, and potentially do some damage. Oh, wow. He gets the scan, and his force is moving out of position. This could be massive, and he's going right for that mineral line.
Oh, yeah, man. He's going to be able to do so much damage. He kills 1 tank. He's going to get a second one. He's going to get even more. 2 tanks, 3 tanks, SCVs.
Almost pretty much worth it just for those 3 tanks, honestly. But yeah, he does kill a few SCVs in the process. Taeja's on 64 SCVs. He's not letting up at all. 10 workers have been killed in total. Jinro now moving a lot of SCVs off the line just to... Is he just going to go for it with these SCVs?
He's just repairing and then...
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a lot of those SCVs to repair. I don't think you really afford to pull that many SCVs off the line here.
Well, actually on auto repair, so they're going with this too, and there's a lot of Hellions. I mean, though still, Slayer's Taeja about to be at 1-1 in terms of upgrades here, and he has a lot of Marauders, and he traded, or didn't want to trade, of course, but he traded their bio for like 3 tanks. Easy, super good trade there for Taeja, and now there's only 3 compared to 6 tanks, which makes this push so weak compared to what it could have been.
Yep. Air superiority actually slightly in the favor of Jinro here, just trying to work his way through those point defense drones. Taking a little bit of time to do so. He's got a Raven of his own with a point defense drone of its own, but the energy has gone, and here comes the big engagement, and there's not enough SCVs there to do a damn thing against that amount of firepower. But the question is, can the tanks start to chew their way through this army quick enough? Significant damage inflicted here by Jinro, but Taeja's able to throw that back. And if we look at the loss, there's the GG.